Hey there, have you ever gotten a wild revelation from the most random things? Are you looking for God but can't seem to really find Him? Have you ever wondered if God is really there? Well, here on God in the Details, join me as we embark on a journey to find God in the most unlikely, absurd and random things, from Kaswa to Oyarifa and even FIFA. So buckle up, put on your thinking cap, and let's find God in the detail. Welcome to another episode of the God in the Details podcast. We told you that this season is going to be special, and the feedback from the last episode was amazing. And building off that episode, we have a very, 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 very special person in our midst. She doesn't like me calling her Auntie Keni, but I'll call her Auntie Keni. So please, Auntie Keni, welcome to the God in the Details podcast.
My name is Keni. Just Keni, but thank you.
Just a little backstory. Auntie Keni, I said I can't call her just Keni, guys. My mother watching this will be proud of me for calling her Auntie Keni.
You're trying to make me look like I'm an ancestor or something. Kwaku, choose your next words carefully.
Yes, please. Okay, I'll stop. Auntie K.
You flow.
Yeah. So we became, I was trying to say friends. I can't say friends. I knew her through Nanayao, and from that time on, she's been a big influence on my life, in every aspect. And today's conversation is going to be a very, very, very interesting conversation. So before we continue, just introduce yourself. Who is Keni Ribeiro?
Keni, who is she? I don't even know at this point, but I think I'm a child of God. That's really it. All the others are nice add-ons. Work-wise, I'm a PR and comms consultant. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I'm a foodie. I'm an auntie to a lot of Gen Zs.
Yeah. I'm not Gen Z though. Am I? No, I'm not. Am I? No, but she's still an auntie to me.
Yeah. And the personal branding police.
Yes. And so switching the question up, you already answered the first part of it, but deeper, who is Keni in the eyes of God? Who do you think Keni is in the eyes of God?
Hey, Charlie. I think I am this stubborn daughter of his that he has filled with a lot of potential, and he's very patient with. And I find that he is, I don't know how he does this, but he finds a way to even use my stubbornness to steer me closer to whatever it is that he wants to do. So I am pretty much like, I am a demonstration of God's grace, because I'm sure if my angels could speak, they would say, this girl, this one thing, instead of just doing it, you go and do ABC. But eventually, I always see whatever he wants to do coming to pass. Yeah.
Amazing. So you are the PR police, but you are also known as a talkative. And the name of this episode, as you guys have seen, is Names of Talkatives. We are looking at exploring God in our speech, in prayer, and in our friendships, right? The power of the tongue. So how do you feel, or how did you feel? Because I know being a talkative as I am has a lot of, how did you feel whenever people used to tell you that you talk too much?
I think it was, the first time I heard this was in class 1. Yeah, I started early. In class 1, my teacher said she's brilliant, but she won't finish, like she won't focus on the work. She's always talking. But I had so many things to see, like, what the people next to me are saying, what is happening outside the classroom, what my teacher is doing. I was just interested in all those details, God in the details, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So I was always interested in those details, and I remember it was always there. They would say brilliant, excellent, if she would be even greater if she would just focus. And I realized that it used to, for want of a better word, make people sort of think of you as she's this but. The talkative was always but. But I'm really grateful for my dad, because what he did was he gave me space to talk and he would actively listen. Interestingly, that made me stop talking as much in class, because it just felt like someone would listen. And he also found a way to tell me that there's a reason why I pay attention to detail. There's a reason why I notice all these things. And I shouldn't shut it down just because I wasn't using it in the right way in class 1 till about class 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I became school prefect and class prefect, and so I was writing the names of talkatives. So that was nice, because then I can talk as much as I want, but no one will write my name. So yeah.
Okay, so amazing. You've done something, because there are 2 questions I have, which what you said has propelled us into those 2 questions. So the first question is, you mentioned the last thing you spoke about was names of talkatives. Do you think heaven has a names of talkatives?
I'd like to imagine that they do, because in my mind, almost everything that we do here on earth did not come out of thin air. So there's a variation of some sort in heaven. I have a theory that there's a bakery in heaven, and that is how God was able to give them freshly baked manna every morning. That's my theory. So when I go to heaven, I'm going to check out the bakery.
You know that there's actually an episode on bread, on daily bread. So this is interesting, but I've never.
Yeah, so to me, I feel like there are people that I assume are always talking to God. And an example would be, let's take someone like Joshua. The Bible says when Moses would leave, he would stay in the tent. The fact that is recorded in the Bible must mean that commitment to staying in God's presence, that commitment to talking to God that much meant something. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been recorded.
Okay.
I find that God is too intentional. And even Jesus, who's our model, would always find time to go and talk to the Father.
Okay.
He would. I feel like he was one of the busiest people. I don't know. I'm sure you've watched The Chosen, so you can see some of the depictions of life and how people were always looking for him and stuff. But he will make time and go and talk to God.
Yeah.
And Job, for instance, is an example of God telling someone, "Have you seen my servant?" Like I'm very fond of you. And it's not just because you are someone who talks to me. It's that we shared a lot of very... Yeah. So, and that has also drawn us closer.
Yeah.
So you'd realize that even for us as humans, we tend to have a certain kind of bond with the people that talk to us often, who share things with us. So even if there's not like a list of people whose names are being written, there are people that God knows that he can talk to, who will come and talk to him. There's a scripture that says, actually, Abraham he was always talking to God, so much so that it was not possible for God to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah without talking to him about it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case for everybody that was in Sodom and Gomorrah.
Exactly.
The guy who was there didn't even know what was coming.
Yeah.
So there must be something that intimacy gives you a certain access that you don't always get. So the person you talk to more often will know maybe where you live, if today you have a running tummy, if what your favorite meal is. Those things come from that daily intimacy. And in my mind, that's sort of kind of a names of talkatives in some way.
I think so. The whole one of the goals of this episode is to let people understand that the Ghanaian society, I would say, in class, has, well, because of order, but then has painted being a talkative as a bad thing. But then when it comes to the things of God, that is the best thing. To be as talkative as you can be, like talk to him as much as you can. But that leads me to my next question: that which season in your life, you've mentioned in this short span, you've mentioned like 3 times when you were talkative, you stopped being a talkative, and you became a talkative again. Which season in your life do you think you were most talkative to God? Which season in your life do you think you spoke to him, you ranted to him?
When my father got diagnosed with cancer, that talking was not a nice one. What do you mean by he's sick? What do you mean by, like, he's getting to the point where he's going to live his life? What do you mean? Because I couldn't go and talk to anyone else about it. So I would talk for a long time, and then at a certain point, I would just stop talking because I was angry. Then I think the next phase where I spoke the most was when I was pregnant with my son. I was scared to death of parenting. Yes, I know that I'm your auntie and everything, but I don't. Before I got pregnant, I didn't consider myself as the most maternal person. I didn't consider myself as, there are those people that when they get here and there's a baby, they will carry the baby. And I will play with your baby if I see that you're open to it. My sister is there's a baby here, I don't care who it is, I'll talk to you. I will respect your space. So I kept thinking, I will be responsible for this child from beginning to end. And especially because of all the things I've been exposed to, from the fact that there are patterns and bloodlines, there are gifts and purposes for each of these children. I was not about to mess it up. And my father was such a solid example of parenting that, and he's not here. It's not like I can go to him and say, Daddy, so how do I navigate this? So I literally, every single day, I would just be talking to God about the child that was in my belly. Every single day. And I find that that's what, in a way, it transformed my relationship with God, because it made me dependent on him. I'm like, I don't know anything. You have to figure out this thing with me. And that dependency sort of, it changed my relationship with God.
So when you say that dependency, how did your prayer life or prayer method, there are some people that are taught how to pray. Even in the Bible, Jesus Christ, the disciples came to him that, Master, teach us how to pray. He said, when you pray like this. But I think every single person has the way they pray, based on the things they've been through, based on the way they were raised, based on even the church they go to. How have situations in your life, or how has your prayer life been shaped, or your prayer communication with God been shaped?
So I've always been a conversation girl. So for me, I talk to God like he's sitting across from me. Like, God, I don't understand what's happening. I'm really concerned. It's like we're chatting. But I found that I would wait for opportunities where it's like there's a quiet moment, or I just woke up, or there's I'm on a retreat, to do the deep, intense we are talking. But when I became pregnant, and in the first year of my son's life, as I'm changing the diaper, we are talking, because like I need, and sometimes I notice that because of that, there no time frame, no special time, he would also speak back to me at any time.
Yeah.
So random things like, wake up, he's about to wake up. That used to bust my brain. I'm like, wow, I know you know everything, but to wake me up so that I can also, either take a bath and not be stressed by, okay, he woke up and now I can't take a bath. I used to find that amazing. And my son was the kind of baby that would wake up and not cry. So if he's lying down and like he's not hungry, he hasn't pooped, he'll just lie there. So he would say, go and check on him, he's awake now. And I'll go, and he's lying there playing with his toes. And I thought, he really sees everything. And it made me trust him even more than I did before. Because I'm coming from a place where you took my daddy away when I really needed him. But now I understand that I have a daddy that's with me all the time. And his knowledge is even deeper than my earthly father's. Yeah. So it's become.
So you did mention that you spoke to him more when your dad was sick, and I'm sure, and you said the conversations were not nice conversations.
No.
How did you reconcile with God after that?
That's why I said he's very patient with me. Because I stopped singing. I stopped doing the things I was doing in church. I'm like, if you can't do this one thing for me, why am I doing anything for you? I'm sure he was like, this girl. But it took a while. First, he showed me that my life was not going to end because my father wasn't around. Because I think in some part of my mind, I had made my father like some god. You had to have met him, honestly. Yeah, he was very charming, and he knew everybody. That's the thing we reminisced. So he had Rollins' number. He had like everybody that's anybody in this country. He could get people admitted into school with a phone call. Like, we don't need your transcripts. We don't. That was my father. He had goodwill everywhere. I felt like I'm now coming to start uni, going to school. Like, I would need a job. When we now need a phone calls, you're gone. Like, what does that mean? But God showed me that I am the one who gives favor.
Yeah.
I am the one who gives goodwill. And I honestly feel that he has used that to show off in my life. Because I can tell you for free that every room I have gotten into, I did not do anything to get there. Jobs I have gotten, I did not, chat GPT my CV. He showed me that I am the giver. I am the one. And it took a while because initially I was just like, I'm angry, things are not working. But everything I had relied on my father for and more, he showed me that I have more than enough of that.
Yeah.
And so it started to change my relationship with him. To the extent that now I can talk about my father and not cry. I'm a crybaby. So for me to do this whole conversation and I'm not even tearing up, he actually healed my heart. Like, it was a long process because I'm very stubborn.
Last question on this, and it will go. Last question. So, you mentioned on Reagan's podcast that it was when he passed that you started writing a bit more. Yeah, and I relate with that a lot about sometimes prayers being writings, because there were times when I struggled to speak whatever I was going through, and I wrote it. And it's budded into this whole spoken word I have.
Pay close attention.
Yeah. I just want you to tell me that when someone struggles to speak, like being a talkative and you struggle to speak, what other ways do you think can help the person in the place of prayer? It could be silence, it could be writing. What do you think?
So I like that you started with silence, because sometimes you just need to be silent. There have been times when I've been dealing with pain, betrayal, bitterness, and I can't, when you go to God and you're expecting to, I'm coming to spend time with you, and it just becomes, I'm just complaining about everybody and I'm not even listening to what you have to say. Sometimes I will literally just get there, just don't say anything, and I'll just sit there. And because of how amazing God is, he even uses silence to assure you of his presence.
Yeah.
And he finds a way to filter all those feelings of anger and whatever it is. And in that stillness, you will hear him. I find that amazing. It's like no one is talking. I am not talking. So it's allowing me to hear him even more. But because I am musical, sometimes music is what helps me to convey what I want to say. Sometimes I just want to say, God, I am so scared and I am so tired and I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. I want to trust you, but the truth is, right now where I'm sitting, there is no trust. Then the song will stir my heart to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm giving it to you.
Yeah.
And then, of course, writing. I have found that I think I started writing because my father wasn't there to listen to my rants about the things I was noticing. But then God used that to make a whole life for me. So writing also helps me, even when I'm not writing about like a prayer to God. I find that he even uses that to communicate to me. So I can give you an example. I used to write fictional stories on my website. And someone called me one day. I don't think I've ever publicly shared this story. Someone called me one day and said she wants to thank me for saving her from suicide. I said, me. And then she said, she's a sickle cell patient. She's tired of pain and all of that. So she had contemplated that at the end of that week, she was going to kill herself because she thought everyone was suffering around her because of her. And she didn't see anything for her life going forward. And she read something that I had published that evening. It was a short fictional story about some girl who went to an engagement and some guy was flirting with her. Guys, you can't even see any Jesus in this, okay? She said the girl I described was hair to the T. That she's slightly bow-legged. She has a gap in her teeth.
Prophecies.
She said it described her to the T. So someone read it and sent it to her and asked her if she knows me. And when she read it, she said, if someone I haven't met before can describe me to the T physically, then maybe God hasn't forgotten about me. And so she's alive today. She's married today. She has kids today.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Like, I'm trying to show you how even writing because God says I should write, not necessarily because it's a dear God, today I'm very frustrated with what is happening, but simply just doing that thing, which I wouldn't have done if I wasn't constantly talking to him to even sense that, okay, I'm writing. And I promise you, I didn't feel any Holy Ghost goosebumps as I was writing. I was just writing the story to publish. But she's alive today.
That's amazing.
I have another story of a woman, a girl who was in a relationship with a pastor who is married. Again, I just wrote my story. Yes, I wrote some story. I think it was Forbidden Fruits. I can't remember what the title was. But it was, she was in a relationship with a pastor who is married. And she comes to church just to sort of play with his mind while he's preaching, because that's kind of their thing. And she said when she read it, she felt exposed. So she broke up with the man. Again, I see my DMs. Wow, don't play. And she said she felt exposed because it described like how they would interact to the T. I'm like, okay, cool.
Just continue. So, again, this is connecting to the next question I have. Do you think that being talkative, you can find God in... How do you do it? It's got to that's the next question. In like random conversations with friends. Like...
Refer to the above. But yeah, absolutely. Random conversations, these stories, everything. And that's, I think these things have healed my relationship with God from the I don't want to talk to you because you're taking my father away face, because it made me see, wow, you don't even know the person you're angry with. If you knew him, you would not be angry. You would understand that even daddy's death was what you needed to become the fullest version of yourself today. Because I promise you, I would not have been as daring. I would not have even gone harder. No,
Daddy's gonna do it, you know.
Daddy will figure it out. I don't even think I'd have been accountable in any way. Because I was a daddy's girl. My father loved me. I could do no wrong in his eyes. So I would have just, yeah.
The next question is, I think when it comes to friendships, one of the things that make or break is words. Because we've all been through experiences with friends where conversations or rumors or things you heard or things that were said either made or broke the friendship. What would you say to someone watching this or listening to this that has friends and feels like the words that they speak is what is either breaking the friendship? Like, I feel like everyone, you need to understand how someone operates so you know how to speak to the person. It's the same with God. You just mentioned, you've taken us through a whole about how God was patient with you and knew that this is the language that I need to speak to my daughter for her to understand. How would you say that plays out in friendships? With how you communicate in friendships, like for comfort, for criticism, for, you know, all those things.
It's pretty much like, let me give you an example. I don't know about you people, but when I'm watching a series, after I've watched about 4 or 5 episodes, I can listen to the series. I don't need to look at the people's faces, because by that time the voices, the intonation and all of that has registered in my head. So I'll know that, okay, I'm watching the rookie now. It's Nolan that's speaking. This is what he's saying. Okay, there's sound, so that means something is happening. People find it weird, but it works for me.
Yeah.
But the only reason I'll be able to do that is because I've spent that amount of time interacting with the series. So I can tell this is Nolan, this is Bailey, this is who, this is who, this is who. Even with Spanish and other languages, if I watch a series in
Mara Clara,
in those languages, I find myself using the words that I pick up from those. So what I'm trying to say is, if you spend enough time around someone, you pick up the things that work. But sometimes we tend to view life through our own lens. So maybe Kwaku, like me, since we are both writers, we are very expressive. So you'd wake up to a long text message of how we love and appreciate you
asleep,
for your birthday. That's us. But chances are that a lot of the people in our lives are not like us. So they're like, okay, cool.
T. That was right on this T. And there was a T for thank you. Hey, T.
We moved from K to T. So it can feel, Charlie, like I'm pouring out my love or my affection or my concern to you. But for someone, her pain is, what will soothe her pain is you spending the day just sitting with her in silence, or going around her house helping her to do stuff so she doesn't feel alone. That if we don't take the time to understand how to love the people in our lives, how to correct the people in our lives, how to comfort the people in our lives in the language that resonates with them, chances are that it will always rub us off the wrong way somehow. But the truth is, everybody is constantly learning. So I may learn from my interaction with you that when you are sad, you don't want me to leave you to be. You want me to come and sit with you, or you want me to send you chocolate cake. Guys, send me chocolate cake when I'm sad, please. You want me to send you like, you learn that by that constant talking, constant staying, constant interaction. If you don't do that, you may miss it. But there's something you said, I don't know if that's the question you were also asking. I find that the most important thing is to focus on what God is saying. Because I promise you, there are some of the rumors that I hear about myself. I'm like, wow. Wow. Yeah. And I don't believe in, let me go and defend myself.
God will fight for me.
But it's still painful because I'm like, so this person was walking around and thinking this of me and telling other people this about me and painting this picture of me. It can be very stinging for someone as emotional as me. But what helps is to always keep the constant of what is God saying. And you will not know that if you're not spending time with him. So we are back to talking to God. If you don't do that, because I can tell you, you that you think I'm old, I can tell you that life will hit you in ways you can't see. As you grow older, as expectations of your life and the people in your life change, it can get heavy. But if you keep focusing on what is God saying, if that is your North Star, it helps you to navigate the backbashing, the backstabbing, the lying, the whatever it is. Because unfortunately, I can't change what you think of me. I can try, but
okay, so we are getting to the end of the episode. The anchor verse for this whole episode is life and death is on the power of the tongue. How real is it to you, and what does it mean to you? What does that verse mean to you?
It's very real. Today I'm going to enter my archives.
Do you have any
my parents really struggled before they had me. It took them 4 years of multiple miscarriages and things like that. That's why my name is Keni. It's like God has given us a gift. Yes. So my father says the thing that kept me was they kept saying things about me. So things like, before I formed you, I knew you, called you to be like, they were always invoking the words of God over my life. And even with there's an Adinkra symbol that my father chose for me when I was born, and it says there's a God in the heavens. And he's trying to say my life is proof that God is in the heavens. And that's how my life has been.
Yeah.
If you look at my life, no, I can promise you, there's no master class I can teach you. Say, if you do this and you do this and you do this, that's how you become.
That's amazing. So, wrapping up, what would you say to someone that, so you can look in the camera, what would you say to someone that has been silenced by, their voice has been silenced by fear, by shame? So the voice, the power that the Lord has given them has been taken away. They are no more talkative.
Who took it?
Shame, fear, situations, all these things has taken their voice away. What would you say to them?
Hi. I actually know what it feels like to have your voice taken away by pain or shame or fear. But I can also tell you that the God who gave you that voice did not make a mistake. There's a reason why he put that voice in your voice box. There's a reason why you see things the way you see them. There's a reason why certain things come naturally to you. And if you don't rise above what you're feeling now, you will never get to the fullest version of who you have been called to be. I know what it feels like to know that you are underperforming. You are not living to the fullest of your potential because you have let fear win. You have let doubt win. The most important thing is God, who called you, who can see all the doubt and fear and the shame, still thinks you're worth it. And that's why he put that voice in you. So you owe it to him and to yourself, most importantly to yourself. Because sometimes we like to think no one understands me, but you know how it feels at night when you are feeling less than because you are not living the life you're supposed to live. So my encouragement to you is today, choose to rise above the fear. If you're going to ask me how, it's by spending time with God. It's by being a talkative in his presence. If you don't know what to say, go and say, I don't know where to start. That's perfect for him. He will find a way to move you like me. He has moved me from that bitter, angry girl to the girl that is talking to you today. So I hope that helps. And if you do need to, you can DM me. After all, I'm the auntie to agencies.
Goosebumps, guys. Goosebumps.
Can you be serious?
Goosebumps, man. But thank you so much. This has been an amazing episode. It's been such a deep episode. It has had everything, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the amazing thing you do. Before we run away, what deeds do you want to see on the podcasts?
Aston, who do I want to sit here?
Who? What? Talk to me.
Chifiano.
Yes, please.
Come, I'm calling you. Come and sit here and answer questions. Because I think you are deeper than me. So come and sit here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yes, you.
They said you. Thank you so much, Keni. God bless you. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the God in the Details podcast. We'll catch you in the next episode.
Bye.
So, I'd just like to remind you that no matter the situation you find yourself in, it can be anything, even the most unlikely thing. I just want to remind you that if you look carefully enough, you will see God in the details. Thank you.